The topic of my sermon is a second chance. And how many of us know sometimes we need a second chance from God?
Amen. That's right.
If you have your Bibles, we're going to be in John chapter 8. We're going to be in John chapter 8. We're going to be in Acts chapter 2. And we're going to be in a touch of Acts chapter 16.
Can you repeat that, please?
John chapter 8. Acts chapter 16. And Acts chapter 2. And normally I don't use the mic, but I'm going to use it for you today. I mean, when we think about second chances, many of us say we give them, but we really don't. Because oftentimes we think about when somebody do this, when somebody do that, do we really, really forgive them and give them a second chance?
Okay.
And as I'm speaking about this, I'm not just speaking about the spiritual aspect of it. I'm also speaking about the natural aspect of a second chance and how it affects us in the legal system. And I know everybody always say church and state is separate, church and state is separate. But it's gotten to a point today that it seems like there is no barrier or lining between church and state anymore. So if it seems that everything we do in the world we can do in the church, then why is it that the world legally still does not give many people a second chance? You know, and it's funny how we can say, oh, Lord, I forgive you, but we really don't forgive. And I mean, think about it. Every job application you apply for, every application asks one question. That one question determines whether they're even going to interview you or drop your application in the trash can. And no, it's not what your race is anymore. That plays a part, but that's not the most predominating factor anymore. But now what determines if you get a second chance with a job is there's a little box that says, have you ever been convicted of a felony?
That's right.
And you know, we as young folks don't often understand that our parents and our grandparents have said to us, it is so easy to get into trouble, but it is so hard to get out of it.
Amen.
See, we make these beds, and I realize that the bed we lay in may not be made of cotton and feathers, but of brick and stone and mortar and handcuffs and bars.
Come on,
Even Paul went to prison. That'll take you into Acts 16 in a moment. Even Jesus forgave the adulterer. That's going to take you into John chapter 8. But as we begin to look at this, we don't look at people with a true understanding. Our hearts are not truly always forgiving as we say. And surely we don't give chance after chance to very many people outside of our children and loved ones.
Amen.
It's because we have that filios love for our family that we can forgive them again and again. You know, they say love covers a multitude of things. But love does not cover your freedom. Love does not always cover and determine if you're going to live and not die. Love does not cover those things. It's the ability for someone to give you a second chance.
Come on.
So if you can stand with me, I'm going to read all the scriptures and then we're going to dive into this morning.
Praise God.
If you have John chapter 8,
Okay.
and we know this is a very familiar scripture, and starting at the first verse it says, Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, and in the very act. Now Moses in the law commands us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that without sin among you, let him first cast a stone. Amen. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in his midst. When Jesus had lifted up himself and saved none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. May God have a blessing to the readers, the hearers, and most importantly, the doers of the word. You may seek for the remaining of my scriptures. The next scripture I'm going to give you is going to be Acts 2, and it's simply verse 37. Now when they heard this, they were pricked in their hearts, and said unto Peter and the rest of the apostles, Men and brethren, what shall I do? Now after you have heard all of this, have you been pricked in your heart? I want you to think about it. We're going to really break this down this morning. Jesus went into the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. Can you imagine everybody coming together right now? We all getting together, we getting around this pulpit, and we're going to sit down, and Jesus is going to teach us. He going to teach, and he going to talk to us, and he going to break some things down, and he going to explain some things and make some things plain and clear, and that we have the ability to understand. How many of you make it, before you judge somebody, do you make it clear and understandable to them before you start casting your judgment and your opinions and your thoughts and your feelings and what you feel is right and what you feel is wrong upon somebody? And the scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, okay, we set the scene right now. She done did something wrong. And now everybody got something to say about it. Everybody casting judgment on this woman right now like they ain't never did nothing wrong. The Pharisees and the Sadducees was something back in that day. They lived by the law. They lived under the law. We are in John. Jesus is here, so we do have a little grace and mercy now. But these Pharisees and Sadducees still live by the law. Yes. Their feeling is this. Nowhere in the picture did they bring this man. You never hear about the man that she was caught in the act with. But you hear about this woman again and again and again. So even back then, fellas, the system was not just all fair in every aspect. Because they ready to stone this woman now. You got to understand, they ready to pick up big rocks, huge rocks. That's going to fit and cover their hands. They ready to take this woman out. But you still ain't heard them say, where this man is. Where's the man? Why don't you go stone the man? But you going to stone the woman. Why do you have selective second chances? This is what you call a selective second chance at this moment, because they are ready to stone the woman and forget the man. Now the man can do it again. And another woman can be caught with this very same man. And we still not going to hear about this man. But then I'm going to be ready to take another poor innocent woman, take her down like this. Sit her in the midst of the people, and they're ready to stone her for whatever she has done. But have you thought about stoning yourself for what you have done? Have you thought about when you do something wrong, picking up a stone and turning against yourself and beginning to hit yourself for what you do and convict yourself and say, well, Lord, give me a second chance for what I have done to people today. No, that's not where people are right now. Going into the 4th verse. They say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commands us that should be stoned. But what sayest thou? Now this is the moment where they're trying to trick with Jesus. You can't trick with the Lord like you can trick with some people. Because he's all-knowing. He's omniscient. He knows everything everything you gonna say before you gonna say it, but sometimes he gotta let you play out before.
Exactly.
You know we've said, I'm not gonna do that thing again, and Lord forgive me for what I've done, and Father, I just don't know what, Lord help me. Knowing verily, as soon as he gets you out of the situation, you're going to need him to forgive you again. So that's a second or a third chance. You know, because you're going to do that thing again and again, and you don't realize that you're condemning yourself more and more, because when you repent to God, you should truly be sorry. If you're not sorry, then don't come to him and say, Lord, forgive me. You know that you won't do it again. I'm here to hear you with a false repentance heart. When you come repent to God, your heart should be sincere. Your motive should be sincere. Your intent should be pure, so that the things that God hear you say will touch him, and he will reach his hand down from heaven and lay it upon you and give you that second chance that you need in life.
Thank you, God.
See, when I speak because a lot of times I've done a lot of things and I needed some second chances. You know, especially with my parents. They have given me a lot of second chances on a lot of different things. And you know, teachers have given you second chances. You've gone to court and you've gotten traffic tickets and judges give you second chances. You know, some of you that abuse your driver's license and you've been before the judge so many times, he know you by your first name when you step before his pulpit, and he say, young lady, didn't I tell you I didn't want to see you in my chambers anymore? Didn't I tell you I didn't want to see you in this courtroom anymore? Didn't I tell you that if you came before me with another ticket that I was going to take your license? Tell me why at this moment why I shouldn't do it. And you turn around and you look at him and say, Your Honor, please understand. Let me explain. I really wasn't trying to speed. Now, you're trying to come up with an explanation because the law told you not to. You did. And you're pleading at the mercy of the court right now. You kind of feel like, Your Honor, let me explain, Your Honor. Work with me for a moment, y'all. See, this is what happened. I need your mercy, you know, because you're not really pleading to the judge. You're pleading to the heart of God. Because the judge's heart is already hardened. He's already made up his mind, and he's already said to you, I did not want to see you before me in my courtroom again. But yet you didn't listen. You got back in your car. You didn't put on your seatbelt. You turned your music up. You didn't use your flashes. You was texting while you was driving. You was even playing your games and doing everything that you were not supposed to do while you're driving. But then when you get pulled over, here's what happens, you know. Officer, woo, woo, woo. You pull over, right? You stopped your car, right, for a moment. Now, the officer look at you. He initially pulled you over because you ran the stop sign. You know, they real bad about this here. The rule is with a stop sign, for those of you that don't know, you roll, you stop. You stop at the sign. After you stop at the sign, then you roll 2 feet. You look left and right, look back again, then proceed. Now, they have a trap going over in Sanford on Sanford Avenue for those of you that don't know how to stop. They're going to get you on Sanford Avenue. They are checking that you know how to stop at a stop sign on Sanford and Oak, to be exact, after 7 p.m. So if you don't know how to stop, I'm telling you how to stop your car. But see, here's what's going on with the judge. Now, when the officer, because the judge is listening to your story, and you're recounting what happened to you. The officer, when he initially pulled you over, he pulled you over for the stop, right? So now that's strike one. Then when he looked in his camera, because they got a camera they play back before they got out the car, you didn't have on a seatbelt. That's strike two. Then you know, those of you that don't know how to text in your lap, you text like this while you're driving, you got 3 strikes. Because see, he couldn't initially get you just for the texting. Texting is a second-degree law in Florida. They can't pull you over just for texting. They have to pull you over for something else first. But when you initially could have prevented all of this by just stopping at that stop sign, what was it going to kill? You was already late. So if you was already late, why go through the stop sign and give yourself the chance for the ticket? But this is where it comes to. This, they say, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard not. You know, imagine this. Jesus is mighty. I'm positive. And he done came over here and he done just like, there y'all go with that again. There y'all go with that again. You know, Jesus is subtle. Jesus was cold. I'm in the bed for you. Jesus was cold. He nearly went down to the ground and he started to write like this. Could you just imagine? I mean, he just sitting there on the ground. He just writing his thing, and she's standing up there. She just shaking and trembling because she don't know what's going to go on right now. I mean, you're standing in the midst. I mean, you're right here in the midst of everybody. Everybody all around over here. She got Jesus right here with her. And Jesus ain't even looking at her. He went down to the ground, and he continued to write. And he continued to write. And he continued to write. And now you can hear all these accusers. Why, Jesus, what you gonna do with her? What you gonna do with her, Lord? Lord, she done did it, Lord, this time. We caught her in the very act, Lord. She just standing there, she just shaking, and she just trembling. You could just imagine her, right? With her fear and her emotions, and she just, oh Lord, I'm gonna die today. Oh, why me, Lord? Lord, please, why me, Lord? Why I gotta die today? What did I do so bad, Lord, that I gotta die? Well, the accuser's saying, you was in the bed with that man. You know you was wrong. You know he was married. And I could hear her, but he came to me. He approached me. Why I gotta die? Why he ain't standing here beside me? Why the two of us can't go together? Okay. But you know, that's why we got a God a second chance. Amen. You know, that's that God a second chance. And he begins to say, so, when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin, let him first cast a stone at her. Wow. Now, can you see them all right there? She's standing right there. They all around like a mob. They got their stones and they ready. You know, because back then women didn't have no rights anyway. Right, yeah. Women didn't have no rights back then. They got their stones in their hand and they ready. I mean, they ready. I mean, you can imagine. And she probably was a little young thing, didn't even know no better. That's the sad part. She probably wasn't even no old expert at this here. She was probably a young girl, didn't even know no better. Didn't even know what she was getting into. She was probably hurting, lacking. She could have come from one of them tribes where she had been dropped and let go, and she had nobody to help her, and she might have been just lifting water out the well just to get a meal or a morsel, and this poor man took advantage of her. Yes, okay. And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. Can you see? He had got up one time, but he got back down on that ground again. And he took his finger and he started to draw in the sand. And he started to write. And you know, could you imagine he thinking, what he really doing in that ground? You know what I really think he was doing? Writing each of their sins down in the ground. Oh my God. Each one of you standing here with something about her, but I'm writing in your book of life right now. And I'm writing down your sins. And I'm writing down what you've done. And I'm writing down how you standing here, and you're verily ready to accuse this woman of what she's done. Because the difference is she got caught in hers, but you didn't get caught in yours. See, that's what happens oftentimes. Nobody is better than anybody. It just happens to be that you got caught and you did not, and you were on the borderline. You know, a clear classic example. Young children go in Walmart all the time and steal. That one got caught. That one came out. That one got a record. That one got away. That one had some praying family over there. That's why they got away. This one over here was just loose and wild. So it's not that one person was greater than the other. You know, you see it all the time. Car accidents. Right. A civilian hit somebody, you going to jail. A star hit somebody, they get a 3rd-degree manslaughter, walk out of there with a bunch of fines and penalties. But at the end of the day, both lives are still gone. Just that you hit somebody, you didn't have money to get you out of trouble. You hit somebody, you had some money to get out of trouble. So that was the difference between those two people. And then going back over here, and it says, and they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, being at the eldest. Now, can you imagine? We're going to put a train of people right here. 80-some-year-old, 70s, 60s, 50s, and 40s, and so on down. This 80-some-year-old man that probably jealous at this 40-some-year-old man that had the girl and he couldn't get with the girl. So he up here got an accusation going against him. He don't even know her from Adam's apple. Then you got these rest of them over here rallied around, and they like vultures. You know how them vultures is in the sky. When they see that dead animal on the ground, they finna get it. You know they gonna get it. Because them vultures, they just start flocking. They start flocking out the sky. And they start coming down. You think it's something black in the sky coming out. Because they start swarming. And they share that thing together. That's how those men were that were standing around this woman that had committed adultery. They were like vultures. They were ready to come in and attack. They were ready to take her very life. They were ready to suck her in. They were not trying to hear her any explanation or anything she was trying to say. They wanted her. They were like vultures. They wanted to attack. They needed somebody to sacrifice to make themselves feel good that day. They weren't sacrificing her for the good of mankind. But you know, if you think about their sin, you can forget about your sin. So if they're over here can't get a second chance because they focused on your sin, you can keep doing your thing again and again and keep having chance after chance. So why take out this poor woman? Are you with me? This is how our legal system is today. If you have money, you can get a lawyer. You can do the same thing again and again and again. And you can walk in the courtroom, walk out the courtroom. Walk in the courtroom, walk out the courtroom. But then you have these people that do not have money, have to work with a public defender or go pro se. These are the ones that get caught up in the system. They don't get that second chance. So why is it that there's a level of chances and degrees between people?
Come on.
Are you with me?
Yeah. Amen.
Can you hear me?
Come on. Work with me.
When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, and listen to this very well, Woman, where are those that accuse?
Amen. Where are they?
Hath no man condemned thee? At this moment, here is this woman. She been like this him, shaking and trembling and not knowing what's going on and having no understanding. I mean, because at the moment, this is how it happened. You have to imagine. Go back in here. They caught her in the very act. They probably brought her out with no clothes, no covering, no nothing. She was just as naked as she came into the world. And there are a slew of men just standing around her, ready to kill her at her very most weak and vulnerable state in her life. This is how it is with people. When you get into trouble with the legal system, it is one of the most weakest, vulnerable states in your life that you can imagine. Because you have to understand, the legal system is something that you don't control. Everybody's not a lawyer, everybody's not a judge, and everybody don't go to school to study law. So therefore, you have no understanding of the law. You have no money for a lawyer. You are at the mercy of the court. And then when it comes down to it, you know, you're like, well, I really made a mistake. Please give me a second chance. But this is the problem with the court system. Especially right now. Don't get caught up right now. This is election time. Somebody trying to make a name for themselves. They want to get a seat. I give you a warning. Don't get caught up. Because everybody that they can send on vacation is going on vacation. Everybody that they can make a dollar with. Because see, this is what you understand about the legal system. The legal system is in place to make money. Every day you sit in jail, the jail makes money. Every day you sit in prison, the prison makes money off of you. The sad thing is, you go to the prison, they make money off of you. They work you like a slave. They beat you, they dog you. Some of you get killed. You get raped, you get abused. There's so many things that goes on behind the scenes in a prison. And then you know there's those guards that'll see it happen and turn their back like they didn't see it happen. And then what makes it so bad, excuse me for saying this at this moment, but African-American COs are so hard on their own kind that are locked up in prison. What is that? Yes, they there. Yes, they're wrong. No, they were wrong to do what they did. We all know they are there because they did something wrong. But why dog you people even worse? They're already locked up. Why beat them and they down? Why beat them and they down? They're already down. Why are you going to beat them some more? This is why you got to have Jesus. Amen. You got to have Jesus on your side. Did you see what Jesus did for that woman? He did not join the naysayers and was ready to join in and beat her and kill her at that moment and leave her for ravage. But yet he stood up for what was right. He said, ye without sin, cast the first stone. This is the problem today. Many of us have sinned, but we're so ready to cast a stone on somebody else. But how would you feel if the situation was turned around and you were the person standing right here and they ready to throw that stone at you? When you put yourself in that shoe and you begin to feel like that and you at that moment that wants to travail because you don't know what to do. So you think if I cry out to God, then the situation will change. Sometimes, some things, like God did with Job, he moved his hedge of protection. He told the devil you could do anything but kill him. Sometimes you do so many things that God has to remove that hedge of protection all around you and allow you to feel a little bit of the wrath of the enemy. And sometimes, I want you to understand something. The enemy is yourself. Don't blame everything on the devil. The devil does not do everything that you want to blame him for. Because if you know right from wrong, but you continue to do wrong, don't say that's the enemy. Don't say that's a trick of the enemy. Realize that's a trick of your own mind, playing with yourself because you think you are above the situation. And you're never above anything and everything. Anything can happen that can take you from cloud 9 to sub-zero in a matter of seconds. You know, it's a simple statement. In Florida, the house market was booming. These investors was buying houses like it was crazy. Well, the market crashed, the houses dropped, and some of them went into asylum and went crazy because they didn't know what it was to do. They didn't know how to act and govern to go from having millions of dollars to having no money.
Come on.
Okay? Walk with me. And then she said, "No, man, Lord." And Jesus said unto her, "Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more." Can you imagine when you at your worst state, in your worst situation, when you know there's no way to turn, you can't go left, you can't go right,
Come on.
you want to go forward, you can't really do nothing but stand there and mark a little time, right? You know, you just stand there and you just marking time, and you just hoping that the Lord is going to come get you. But why you had to call on him when you got in trouble? Why you didn't call him before you got in trouble? But surely he will come if you call on him. We all have been in situations and know that when we get into some trouble and we call on Jesus, he's right there for us. If you haven't been through that time, when you get through that time, if you don't remember anything else when you get there, call on Jesus. Because he's going to do some things for you mama, daddy, sister, and brother just can't do. Call on Jesus. So as we talk about this legal system thing today, we need to understand that, young folks, the legal system is not getting easier. Every day they pass new laws. Every day they find some way to appeal something that our president has done to help us. See, Obamacare was put into place to help those of you that could not afford insurance. You know, you was above the food stamp Medicaid line, but you didn't have enough money to actually afford it yourself. So they put Obamacare into place. Well, if you watch the news, you know that the Senate, Congress, has repealed the Obamacare Act. So this means that when our good president get out of office, some of you not going to have no insurance again. They have repealed it. You can go check it out on, I think I seen it on ABC. They have repealed the Obamacare Act. So now if you have no Obamacare and you have no insurance, you better start talking to your God of many chances.
Amen.
See, because this is what people don't understand. They do these things to upset the people. Now, how many people's lives are going to be disrupted and upset when Obamacare is gone? Now, these are the people that, as we said earlier, made too much for Medicare and Medicaid, but didn't make enough to afford it on their own. But even to take the very essence of help that was given to them. This is when the moment comes. Now, when they have heard this, they were pricked in their heart, and said unto Peter and to the rest of the apostles, Men and brethren, what shall we do? In my closing, the question is if your heart has been pricked, and you know there's people out there suffering, going through issues in the legal system, what shall you do? And sometimes it's a little bit more than prayer. They need some education. They need some understanding. They need some knowledge. They need some wisdom. What they need is to understand that 18 does not make you grown. 18 just makes you legally chargeable. When you begin to understand that at 18 you still do not have the fullness thereof of what life is all about, 18 just makes you legally chargeable. 18 allows you to can no longer run home to mom and daddy and say, I did this, I need your help. This is why they will let young African-American boys that get in trouble at 15 and 16 let their cases linger out to 18. Because on your 18th birthday that you do not understand, mama, daddy, no boys and girls. They walk them through the underground tunnel from the Department of Juvenile Justice into the adult jail. They take them, they fingerprint them, they book them, take a picture, charge them as adults. All because we don't take the time to say, didn't I tell you to stop? Didn't I tell you don't do that? Would you just listen to me? That's the hard part to say. Some parents don't want to beat their behind. But I tell you, beat their behind is better that you beat them than that the legal system beat them. Because see, that's the problem today. They turn 18, they handcuff them and drop them down. You know, you don't understand. There's some things that they have put laws in place that you can be 16. There's some things at 16 they will still charge you as an adult. Anything related to murder, manslaughter, battery, rape, they're going to charge you as an adult. So this means before you even got to be 18 and know what grown is, you've already been legally charged as grown. Which means they will take you, put you in a long-term juvenile facility. On your 18th birthday, they take you from the long-term juvenile facility and they put you in the adult prison. Then you have these young men that you say they come out gay. Well, imagine. They never had the chance to be an adult. They never had the chance to marry. They never had the chance to experience life in a relationship. And then you got these older men in there that see them as young, fresh meat. That's the truth of the matter. So now they're locked up in the system, but they come out like, hey. And you look at them like, whoa. You should have thought about reprimandation before you allow them to get that far.
That's right.
Beat them. Yes. I ain't say hurt them. There's no law against spanking a child. There's no law against disciplining a child. Just don't bring no blood out. No need no bruises on them. But the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. This is why so many people need second chances, because the rod was spared, the child was spoiled, and this is the product of what you have left over. God bless you.
Thank you.